My name is Richi Anderson Jr., and I'm a graduate of Guitar Institute of Technology in Hollywood, California, called Musicians Institute. It's one of the best guitar schools in the country. I went there for a while, and I learned a lot of stuff over there. A lot of stuff about music, and a lot of stuff about rock and roll, and a lot of stuff about the business. And I got to play with a lot of my heroes. I got to play with every one of my guitar heroes, and some of them are dead now. Steve Ray Vaughan's dead, but he got sober before he died. He died in a helicopter crash. He was a very, very nice guy. Another guy I played with, Dimebag Darrell from Pantera. He was a really nice guy. He was so nice, he'd give you the shirt right off his back. He didn't have a guitar, he'd give you his guitar. That's how nice he was. He didn't have no ego. These guys didn't have no egos. And it's sad because they were getting sober when they were taken away from this planet. And when I was a kid, about this kid's age right here, I wanted to learn guitar. But there's no place in our tribe, no school here on the reservation has music class. And since the beginning of time in the first world to now, to the fourth world, music has always been a part of our culture and our tradition since the dawn of time. So if anybody says music doesn't belong in Navajo tradition, that's a lie. All our songs, all our chants, our prayer chants, the Yebiche songs, the Nightway chants, the Hajonje, all of that. Property songs, horse songs, hunting songs, sweat house songs. That's all music. That's been with us since the first world. We had it. The second world, we still had it. The third world, we still had it. It wasn't until the fourth world we lost a lot of our music. Our music was devastated when our land was taken. When our people were ripped from their lands and killed because of our color of our skin and they wanted our land, we lost a lot of music then. And then you go to the boarding school areas, 1950s to the 80s, we lost a lot of music there. You think about it, the very heartbeat, the very soul, the very power, the soul of the music for the Navajo people was lost in those years. But now, today, now we're bringing it back to the Navajo people. The soul, the power, the heartbeat, the very soul of the music for our people is coming home. And all these musicians that the Creator put together are bringing it back to your children, back to every tribal member. And we're not charging you for it. We're not, this is, you come to the music camp at the Navajo Nation Museum, and you'll hear stories from all of our faculty and our special guests. Heartbreaking stories. Stories that are so dark and that you will not believe that a human being could go through such bad times and such a hard time. But the only thing that got them through it was music. They were playing music. They hung on to the music, and that's what got them through that period, that dark period. And I know what that's like, because I'm a suicide survivor. I tried to slit my wrist when I was 15 years old, and I still have that scar on my wrist right here. I see it every day. So yes, I know what it's like. I know what it's like to cut your wrist. I know what it's like to put a gun to your head and pull the trigger and not have the gun go off. I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to be wanting a drink, to be like just craving for that alcohol, your body screaming for it. I know what that feels like. But I'm not like that anymore. I don't do that crap anymore. And I'm here. You know, I wasted my life on sex, drugs, and rock and roll, chasing a lie. And that's the biggest lie that a lot of kids fall into nowadays. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And that lie will send you straight to your grave. A lot of my friends that were so talented, they're digging roses right now. They're pushing daisies because they followed that lifestyle. I was lucky enough that God rescued me from that kind of lifestyle. And this program is just, when we started it, this program is so unique. It's the first one like that in the country. If you want to reach these little kids, you want to reach these teenagers, you want to reach these kids, you have to use something they love. Kids love rock and roll. Kids love metal. Kids love country. Kids love music. You have to use that music to reach these kids. You just can't take a mass suicide program, go into a school and yell at kids and expect it to work. That does not work. Every kid that comes to the music camp has full trust in our faculty. They will tell us stuff that they won't tell nobody. And our main job at Music is Medicine is to prevent anything bad that will happen in these kids' life. Because by the time they get to the hospital, by the time they get to the counselors, something bad's already happened. None of these kids go to the hospital when they're feeling good. When something bad happens, when they try to kill themselves, when they overdose on something, when something bad happens, that's when they go to the hospital. That's when the hospital sees them, not before. This program is set up to reach these kids and these youth before something bad happens. We change their way of thinking. We change the way they perceive things. We change it from seeing everything negative to seeing the positive way. And that's what all these faculty guys are doing here. And that's my 10 minutes, and I'm going to have faculty come up one by one and give why they're giving their time for Music is Medicine. For myself, it's a second chance for me, because I wasted my life. And this is a second chance for me. God gave me this chance and said, look, you know, there's a lot of kids dying out here. There's a lot of kids that need direction. And there's a lot of kids that look up to us. We play a lot of shows. We have a lot of kids walk up to us. And I'm really glad that we started this, because it almost didn't happen because of the red tape with the government. There was times that I gave up. All the red tape we had to go through to get our incorporation, I gave up because it was getting too hard. But my wife, she never gave up on those kids. She never gave up. But I did. I gave up twice. But she kept me going. But now we're incorporated, and you know, we need funding. That's what we need. We need a lot of funding. We need funding for operating costs, because we want to take this program around the reservation and help every kid. It's time for every health department and every health division realize that music has been with us since the first world. We need to bring the power, the soul, the very heartbeat, the very rock and roll of the music back to our people and keep it for generations and never, ever lose it again. Never lose it again. I'm going to call Twain Deluxe up here. These guys run the drum clinic and the guitar clinic. We thank God every day for our staff, because these guys really care and love their people, and we have a very unique faculty. And thank you for your time.